Good evening, everyone. How all of you doing today? Happy Wednesday evening to everyone. Mid of the week, we just reached the 50% of the week, right? The working week I'm talking about. So I believe that you have also progressed towards your things to complete by the end of this week, right? So you must be, I believe you have achieved 50% of your progress. This is Wednesday, and obviously you have completed your day. You might be living to home now. Some of you might be commuting to home. Some of you might be in the office for some more time. So I just want you to quickly find 10-15 minutes to some distraction free zone, go into your nearby meeting room and just listen to me, because today what I'm going to share once again is one of the leadership insight which will help you to identify the gap between what average employee and the leadership potential employee. Okay. And my entire focus right now for this particular series of live talk is to help you understand how you can be that high income leader in the organizations. Okay. And I want you to reach to that 1 crore salary growth in your leadership career. So, before I go into the topic today, I would quickly introduce myself. Those who are very, very new to me, hello everyone. This is Tushar Chaudhary, your leadership coach for project managers, especially mid-career, mid-senior project managers. I help all of you who are having more than 12, 15, 20 plus years of experience, and now you are really great into your subject in your domain, but now you're struggling to go into the leadership roles because somewhere the company where you're working, the environment you are there, the perception is that you are really good in delivering the technical stuff, and when there's a need of being as a leadership roles, you are not being considered for that role because they don't find you as a strategic leader. And this is where I help all of you, all those technical non-technical people who are stuck into their career right now, because somewhere you become a victim of your own experience, of your own performance, because you feel that your performance will save you or give you the next level of role. Your experience will give you the next level of role, but honestly speaking, it does not. Today's corporate demand something else, and that is basically they want you to go beyond the projects and try to solve the bigger problems, create influence on the people. And this is where I help you to build that ecosystem of influence where you operate on daily basis to your core strength, your core leadership value. So you don't need to get up every day in the morning to finding the motivation. Okay. This ecosystem which I help you to build is actually, your north star, and go towards that north star. So you don't really bother what's happening in there. You don't do random things now. You only focus on your north star. That's where I help you. And when you get up every day, you have that energy because you know what exactly you want to do. You know what actually you likes to do. Okay. And you stop doing random learnings from YouTube and WhatsApp University. You only do the things which is required for you to go towards that north star. This is where I help you to build that ecosystem. That's about me. Now let's go into the today's topic. So before I go into topic, I want to start with something uncomfortable. Most mid-career professionals, and especially I'm talking about the project managers who don't have, they don't have a growth problem. They have a behavior problem. Now, you can attend the trainings, you can collect the certifications, you can work late nights, but if your behavior does not change, your career will not change too. Yeah. And today I'm going to talk about this mindset. Okay. I'm going to how you behave every single day at work. Okay. So let me ask you something honestly. When something goes wrong in your project, what do you do? Do you protect yourself? Do you protect the outcome? See, when there is a confusion, what do you do? Do you wait for clarity or do you create clarity? When there is a pressure, what do you do? Do you escalate or do you take ownership? So I want you to reflect on all these three situations. The situation number one: when something goes wrong in your project, what do you do? When something, you know, when there is a confusion, what do you do? And when there is a pressure, what do you do? Okay, your answers to these questions define your leadership maturity and your ability to deal with the challenges, like leadership level. Okay, let me share with you one more real workplace example from my project experiences. Okay, we were handling a very multi-stakeholder project, and everything looked fine in the project, in the reports also. But on ground, the things were sleeping. Teams, our project team were working in silos. The issues were coming late. The client confidence was also dropping. So now typically what happened here? Email increases, a meeting increases, blame increases. And I was also doing the same. Then one day my mentor and I was talking, and I realized something, that I was just managing the activity, not the behavior. And that day I made one bold shift in my life. I stopped reviewing progresses. I started confronting the behavior. I told the team, we do not have a project problem, we have an ownership problem. Silence. Pin drop silence in the meeting. And then I did three things. I made everyone clearly state their commitments. I ask them to highlight the risks of it without fear. I come up with a process for them. And I held people accountable to outcomes, not updates. Okay. And most importantly, I changed my behavior, my own behavior first. I stopped defending. I stopped blaming. I started accepting and raising the hands. I started owning the gaps. I started asking better questions. And slowly what happened, people also stopped hiding the issues. The ownership also increased. There is a playfulness in the team. Okay, the team become proactive, and that's how the project has been recovered. So that day, I understood that teams do not change because of instructions. Their team change because of the leader behavior. Okay, now this understanding become deeper when I started learning from some powerful books. I mean, again, I'll share with you some books, and I want you to read those books. The book number one, The 15 Commitments of Conscious Leadership. And this book is, the author is Jim Detmer, Diana Chapman, and I think Calais Warner. Now, this book introduced a powerful idea. See, leaders operate above the line or below the line. Below the line, what happened? Blames, defensiveness, excuses. Above the line, ownership, curiosity, responsibility. That day I realized many times I behave below the line, blaming, defending, raising the excuses, throwing off the ball on someone else. That awareness changed my behavior. There's another book called Multipliers by Lise Wiseman. Now, this book made me question again, that am I really increasing my team's intelligence or just reducing that intelligence? See, some leaders, they try to control everything, micromanagers especially, right? They they become bottleneck. But the people, some people, they are multipliers. They ask questions, they give ownerships, they build capability. That change how I used to interact with my own team. The third book I would highly recommend you to read is Turn the Sheep Around by David Marquardt. Now, this is one of my favorites. He's a Navy captain, And he said in this book that don't give orders, give control. Instead of do this, say what's going in your mind to do this one, what do you intend to do this one. So this one behavior builds leaders inside your team, not followers. Yeah, three fantastic books. I want you to read these three books. Now the question is, how can we build this mindset or this behavioral attitude in the organization? And then that's why I'm going to share with you three behavioral shifts that you should implement straight away from today. The shift number one, you know, again, I said to you, some people behave below the line, some behave above the line. Now, those who, this is a reflective question for all of you. Those who are really right now, just check where are you right now in this entire journey? Are you below the line or above the line? So, whenever the pressure situation happens, when something mistake happens or something goes wrong, where do you stand? Above the line or below the line? Do you find excuses? Do you throw this problem to someone else? You throwing someone else under the bus, okay? Or you blame someone. So this self-reflection is really important. So if in case you are below the line, I call this as a hiding stage. I mean, you try to hide from the truth. You try to hide the problems. I want you to move from that hiding mindset to transparency mindset. See, most teams hide problems because their bosses are like this. Their bosses are micromanagers. Okay, that's why they hide the problems. Now, if you are a leader which is above the line, you will expose those hidden problems as early as possible. So, if you are above the line person, start saying, "This is the risk, and we need to address it right now." That builds the trust. Okay, that's a shift number one. The shift number two, there are people, they only talk, they only talk in the meetings, and no actions. And because they talking, they do not give others to think also, and they don't pass on the accountability to those people. Okay, and that's why the team's intelligence is getting reduced. See, average managers, they talk more, but the people who are above the line, they leaders, we call them leaders, ask better questions. So instead of giving, so I have seen many managers in my career. I remember one meeting that one of my boss, there was some challenge in the project, and he just invited all of us for a meeting, and we were in the meeting almost for 5 minutes. We waiting for him, and after 5 minutes he just came. He opened the door. He just rushing in the meeting room, and then, guys, okay, guys, we know we are why we came here today. There's a problem in the project, and we want to solve that project problem. I have this solution for all of you. And everyone who is in the meeting, they were literally feeling, what the hell is this? So why did you invite us, if you already know the problem and its solution? So I was also in the part of that meeting, and then I learned one thing is that, you are killing your team members intelligence by giving them direct solutions. So instead of giving solutions, ask, guys, what do you think is the best way to forward? How do you solve this problem? Do you have any suggestions? This builds thinking in your team. That's called passing the accountability. You're not stealing that opportunity from them. Now, the shift number three is, I've seen many people, they are so much role focused. Okay, so I want you to come out of that role mindset to responsibility mindset. Stop saying this is not my job, this is beyond my pay grade, or this is not what I'm supposed to be doing. Start saying that this is affecting my project, so I have to step in. I will step in, and I will have to get it sorted out. So leaders expands their responsibility. They don't shrink their responsibility. Let me be very clear with you. They don't limit it. So that's the third shift. Moved from that role mindset to responsibility mindset. Okay, so that's how I want you to implement these three mindset. Now let me. We are now coming close to the topic of this today's live talk. So let me leave you with this. You don't become a leader when your title changes. You become a leader when you start showing that level of behavior. Because in every meeting, in every email, in every crisis, you are being observed, you're being evaluated by the people, you're being judged by the people. And that's how the perceptions get built. I've seen many people, many of my mentees also, Tushar, I'm doing everything great, but there is nothing growth happening. And when I ask them, so have you taken any feedback from your boss or from your peers or from your team members? What do they think about you? How you performing? How you growing? How you taking up every day? So, there's a huge gap between what we think about ourselves and what others think about ourselves. There's a perception gap. And that gap might this is a blind spot we all have. If we do not really fix this problem, this gap, you will still have these shocking things every promotion time discussions, or every year end the salaries are not increasing, years are going, months are going, but still no growth happening, because that gap is not been sorted yet. Okay, so I don't want you to just randomly going to the office. That's an employee mindset. I want you to be a leadership mindset, an entrepreneur mindset, a business leader mindset. Okay, I want you to start behaving like a business leader from today. Okay. Now, if this discussion help you to reflect back in what is your status right now in terms of, are you above the line person or below the line person? Okay, that's it. Then please type comment in the comment section, leader, in the comment section. And in case you are someone who really struggling here in this area, you want to go to the above the line, but you are struggling in this zone, I want you to have a one-to-one with me. Okay, there's a link in the comment section, or you can go to my LinkedIn profile and book an appointment with me. In that one-to-one session, I will share with you some secrets how you should operate on daily basis in the office. That will help you to, people, that perception gap to reduce. Okay, so book an appointment with me. And the good news is there is one webinar is happening on this Sunday at 10 o'clock, and that's a project leadership mastery. And I want you to really attend this webinar, because I'm going to kind of cover their three-step influential leader blueprint. Okay, and where which will help you to build your trust in the organization, where authority will be built, and then your leadership legacy will also be going to be built. Okay, so I want you to be there on Sunday at 10 a.m., which is 12th of April. Okay, at 10 a.m. in the morning. The link will be in the comment section. Super. So this is time for to sign off now. This is your leadership coach Tushar, and I'll see you tomorrow again with one more leadership insight to help you to have that high income leadership. Until that moment, you know, implement what we learned today. Start implementing, okay, and show that behavioral maturity as a leader. And yeah, take care of yourself, and God bless you.